Good morning students. Today we are going to start a new and a very interesting topic of geometry, that is midpoint theorem and intercept theorem. So first we will do midpoint theorem. What is the statement of the midpoint theorem? The line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and equal to half of it. So what is this? In triangle ABC, the line segment joining the midpoints, they have given there are 2 points of the any two sides of the triangle. So I am taking, let D and E are the midpoints of AB and AC. It could be of any side. The line joining these two midpoints is parallel to the third side and equal to half of it. So what is the result of midpoint theorem? What is given in this? D and E are the midpoints. Therefore, the line joining D and E is parallel to the third side BC. So, DE is parallel to BC and DE value is half of BC. So, this is the result of midpoint theorem, children. You have to just remember the result. So, whenever we will use this midpoint theorem in any question, either you will write down the statement of the midpoint theorem or you can write down midpoint theorem. And the proof we will not do. We will just remember the result. So, midpoint theorem is applicable only if the two sides points are given as the midpoints. Then the line joining those two midpoints is parallel to the third side and half of it. Next theorem is the converse of midpoint theorem. Converse means the reciprocal of the midpoint theorem. So, in the converse, the straight line drawn through the midpoint of one side of the triangle is parallel to the other side, also bisect the third side. So, in this theorem, in triangle ABC, it's given that D is the midpoint of AB and E is any point. It's not a midpoint and we have to prove E is the midpoint of AC. So, D is the midpoint and DE is parallel to BC. This is also given. So, by result of converse of midpoint theorem, E will also be a midpoint. So, if in the question it's given that D is the midpoint and DE is parallel to BC, that means E is also be a midpoint of AC by converse of midpoint theorem. So, in this theorem, it's given that D is the midpoint of AB and DE is parallel to BC. Therefore, E is also a midpoint of AC. That is AE is equals to EC. So, whenever you are using this result, either you write down the statement of the theorem or just write down converse of midpoint theorem. So, children, again the proof of this theorem you will not do, you will just remember the result. So, based on these two theorems, we will start with the exercise 9. So, the first question of the exercise is DEF are the inner triangle in the given figure ABC. DEF are the midpoints of the three sides. And now see the first part. They have given DEF are the midpoints, means if they are midpoints, we can easily apply midpoint theorem. They have given that AB is 6.2 centimeter. This AB is 6.2 centimeter. AB is 6.2 and we have to find out DE. Now, in triangle ABC, we can see that D and E are the midpoints. Of the side BC and AC. Therefore, we can use midpoint theorem, that is DE is parallel to AB as well as DE is half of AB. Now, in this question we just need the half of AB. Parallel we don't require, so there is no need to write. So, DE is half of AB and give the reason. Children, in geometry it's very important to give each and every reason, because if you will not give the proper reason, you will not get the full marks. So, by midpoint theorem. Now, we will put the value DE is equals to half of 6.2, that is 3.1 centimeter. This is the first part. Similarly, we will do the second part. Second part is they have given DF. This DF is 3.8 centimeter. And we have to calculate AC, this side. So again we can see that D and F are the midpoints. D and F are the midpoints of the side BC and AB. Therefore, this DF is parallel to AC as well as DF is half of AC. Now put the value of DF, that is 3.8 centimeter. So AC is 7.6 centimeter. And here please give the reason, midpoint theorem. Now we will see the last part. Last part of the question is the perimeter is given. Perimeter of the triangle is 21 centimeter. And as we know that perimeter means sum of all the sides. So AB plus BC plus CA, that is equals to 21 centimeter. Now we can see AB is given 6.2. AC we have calculated 7.6. So BC value is 21 minus 13.8. So BC is 7.2 centimeter. Now in the figure we can see now we have got the last side, that is 7.2 centimeter. Now we can see F and E are the midpoints. That means FE is parallel to BC as well as FE is half of BC, again by midpoint theorem. So if BC is 7.2, so half of 7.2 is 3.6. So here we can calculate 3.6 centimeter. FE is 3.6 centimeter. So here we will write down F and E are the midpoints. Therefore, FE is half of BC, again by midpoint theorem. Now we will just put the value half of 7.2, that is 3.6 centimeter. So in this way we will find out any one of the side by using the midpoint theorem. Next question is question number 3. In the given figure, DEF are the midpoints of the sides AB, BC and CA of the triangle ABC. Prove that ADEF is a parallelogram. So for proving ADEF as a parallelogram, we will either prove that opposite sides are parallel, or we can prove that one pair of opposite side is parallel and equal. So any one of the property of the parallelogram we will prove. So in triangle ABC, DE and F are the midpoints. So therefore DE, this side DE is parallel to AC as well as DE is half of AC. So this implies if children DE is parallel to AC, that means DE is parallel to AF also, because AF is a part of AC. So DE is parallel to AF and DE is half of AC. So what is the half of AC? AC half is AF and FC. So according to our requirement, I will pick up half of AC is AF. Because F is the midpoint, therefore AF and FC both are equal. AF and FC both are equal and both are half of AC because F is the midpoint. Similarly, this is a notation for the similarly, double LY. Similarly, we will prove that EF is equals to AD and EF is parallel to AD. So the same thing you have no need to prove again and again, because if I'll take the another pair E and F, so E and F are the midpoint. So EF is parallel to AB as well as EF is half of AB. So then again we will take, so for this you will just write down similarly EF is equal to AD and EF is parallel to AD, and give the reason also here by midpoint theorem. Here also by midpoint theorem. So we can say that therefore ADEF is a parallelogram, and we can use this notation also, parallel line and then write down gram. So ADEF is a parallelogram. Okay, so you can use this notation also, because give the reason, because opposite sides are parallel and equal, that we have proved, and hence proved. In the proving question, please at last just mention hence proved. So next question is question number 5. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which AD and BC are equal. These two sides are equal, and P.Q.R.S are the midpoints of AB, BD, CD and AC respectively. Prove that P.Q.R.S is a rhombus. So children, as we know, rhombus, square, rectangle, all these are the types of a parallelogram. And what is the property of the rhombus? That all the sides of a rhombus are equal. So for proving this PQRS is a rhombus, first we will prove that it's a parallelogram. Why? Because if it's a parallelogram, their opposite pair will be parallel as well as equal. After that, we will prove their adjacent sides are also equal. When adjacent sides are equal, that means it will be a rhombus. So all the sides will be equal. So this figure PQRS will be a rhombus. So we'll start the solution now. P, Q, R and S are the midpoints. Therefore, first I'll take triangle ABD. ABD is this triangle A, B and this is D. So what I have done, I have break this figure, and this is ABD, in which we can see that P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of BD. So P and Q are the midpoints of AB and BD. Therefore, when 2 points are midpoints, so that means we can use midpoint theorem. Therefore, PQ is parallel to AD and PQ is half of AD. Give the reason also by midpoint theorem. Okay. So these two sides are parallel as well as equal. Similarly, if I'll take the another pair ABC, this triangle ABC, again if you are getting difficulty in understanding this complete figure, just break this figure, draw ABC separate and see which sides are the. So I am drawing ABC separately. So ABC, and we can see that again P is the midpoint and S is the midpoint of AC. See, S is the midpoint of AC. Portion separately, and I'll join PS. Okay. So again in triangle ABC, we can see that P and S are the midpoints of side AB and AC. Therefore, PS is parallel to BC and PS is half of BC. Give the reason by midpoint theorem. Okay, so give this equation as equation number 1 and give this equation as equation number 2. So we can see this, that PS is also parallel to BC as well as PS is half of BC. Similarly, we can take the another two triangles in which S and R are the midpoints as well as R and Q are the midpoints. So here if I'll take in triangle ADC, this triangle ADC, R is the midpoint of DC and S is the midpoint of AC. So RS is parallel to AD as well as RS is half of AD. R and S are the midpoints of DC and AC. Therefore, RS is parallel to AD and RS is half of AD. This is again by midpoint theorem. Similarly, you can write down for the another pair. We have proved here SR is parallel to AD as well as equal to. Similarly, now the rest of the pair in triangle BDC, R and Q are the midpoints. So RQ is parallel to as well as half of BC. So this is same as the previous step. So we will write down directly. Similarly, RQ is parallel to BC and RQ is half of BC. This is again by midpoint theorem. So give this equation number 3rd. This is equation number 4th. So from equation number 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, we can see that from first we have observed that PQ is half of AD. From equation number 3rd, we have again see SR is also half of AD. From equation number 2nd, we have seen PS is half of BC, and from 4th also RQ is half of BC. Now in the question, this is also given that AD is equals to BC. This is given in the question. That means all the right hand sides of these 4 equations are equal. Therefore, their left hand side will also be equal. PQ is equals to SR is equals to PS is equals to RQ. That means all the 4 sides are equal. This implies P.Q.R.S is a rhombus and hence proved. So children, today you will practice the first 6 questions of exercise 9. Thank you.